Look, most men walk through life blind, bleeding value, and wondering why they keep getting played. They chase, they beg, they grovel, and when the dust settles, they're left with nothing but shattered egos and empty promises. You think you're just being yourself. You think women crave vulnerability. That's the lie they feed you, and the lie that keeps you weak. The truth, gentlemen, is a brutal, unvarnished reality. Every interaction, especially in the public eye, is a battlefield. It's a psychological war where perception is your ultimate weapon or your most glaring vulnerability. Are you tired of being invisible, of being dismissed, of watching women lose respect for you right before your eyes because you unknowingly BROADCAST weakness, because you hand over your power on a silver platter? Machiavelli understood this game centuries ago. He knew the subtle tells, the fatal errors that dismantle a man's authority before he even opens his mouth. This isn't about being fake. It's about mastering the mental game, about understanding the raw mechanics of human perception and leveraging them to your advantage. This isn't for the faint of heart, or for those who cling to naive fantasies of nice guys finish first. We're talking about hard truths, about the invisible rules that dictate whether you command respect or become another casualty in the relationship market. If you've ever felt manipulated, if you've ever seen a woman's interest flatline, or if you simply want to stop being a predictable pawn in someone else's emotional chess match, then pay damn close attention, because what I'm about to reveal are the 9 cardinal sins, the tactical blunders you commit in public that scream low-value man and instantly strip you of your masculine strategy. Ignore this and you'll continue to lose. Embrace it and you'll reclaim your dominance. The choice is yours. Are you ready to see the matrix? Reinteraction, especially in the public eye, is a battlefield. It's a psychological war where perception is your ultimate weapon or your most glaring vulnerability. Are you tired of being invisible, of being dismissed, of watching women lose respect for you right before your eyes because you unknowingly broadcast weakness, because you hand over your power on a silver platter? Machiavelli understood this game centuries ago. He knew the subtle tells, the fatal errors that dismantle a man's authority before he even opens his mouth. This isn't about being fake. It's about mastering the mental game, about understanding the raw mechanics of human perception and leveraging them to your advantage. This isn't for the faint of heart, or for those who cling to naive fantasies of nice guys finish first. We're talking about hard truths, about the invisible rules that dictate whether you command respect or become another casualty in the relationship market. If you've ever felt manipulated, if you've ever seen a woman's interest flatline, or if you simply want to stop being a predictable pawn in someone else's emotional chess match, then pay damn close attention, because what I'm about to reveal are the 9 cardinal sins, the tactical blunders you commit in public that scream low-value man and instantly strip you of your masculine strategy. Ignore this and you'll continue to lose. Embrace it and you'll reclaim your dominance. The choice is yours. Are you ready to see the matrix? Okay, the first cardinal sin, the one that broadcasts your vulnerability louder than any desperate plea: social discomfort. Watch a man who lacks emotional control. His hands become a frantic flurry, picking at imaginary lint, fiddling with his watch, or simply flailing aimlessly as if trying to swat invisible flies. His eyes dart around, scanning the room, never truly landing, betraying a deep-seated anxiety that he's not quite sure where to belong or who might be judging him. His posture, it crumbles, shoulders slump, backgrounds, head ducks. He's literally trying to shrink, to disappear, to make himself as small and unthreatening as possible. This isn't just awkwardness, this is a flashing red light, screaming, low emotional control and lack of power. Every single one of those unconscious tells is a confession of insecurity. It's an admission that you are not grounded, not present, not master of your own domain. And in the high-stakes game of human interaction, especially with women, this is instant death. They don't consciously process it as, oh, he's insecure. No, their primal brain registers, this man is weak, he cannot lead, he cannot protect, he is ripe for manipulation. A high-value man occupies space, he owns it. His movements are deliberate, controlled, economical. His gaze is direct, confident, unwavering. He doesn't fidget because he has mastered his internal landscape. His body is an extension of his calm, powerful mind. He understands that his physical presence is the most immediate form of communication, a non-verbal declaration of his worth, and his capacity for masculine strategy. When you broadcast discomfort, you invite disrespect. You signal that you don't even respect yourself enough to command your own physical vehicle, let alone a situation or another person. You are giving away the very power you seek. Remember Machiavelli's counsel: avoid contempt at all costs. Nothing invites contempt faster than a man who can't even hold his own physical ground. This isn't just about first impressions. It's about the subconscious signals that define your place in the pecking order. You want respect. Then project it, embody it. Stop shrinking. Stop begging for validation through your physical cues. This mental game demands you be an immovable force, not a shifting sand dune. But simply standing tall isn't enough. There's another subtle, yet equally destructive blunder that many men commit, often disguised as politeness. This blunder is the insidious habit of over-justifying yourself. You make a decision, state a boundary, take an action, then immediately feel the need to elaborate, explain the why, or apologize for existing. This isn't politeness. It's a profound misstep in the psychological warfare that defines all human interactions. Over-explaining isn't clarifying, it's telegraphing insecurity. It screams, "My decision isn't strong enough, so let me try to convince you." This reveals a deep-seated fear of judgment, a desperate need for external validation. It's an admission of weakness, a clear signal that you lack true power. Who demands explanations? Those who feel entitled to question your authority. Who provides them unnecessarily? Those who doubt their own. This isn't just about what you say. It's the unspoken message broadcast. Your audience, especially women, intuitively picks up on the underlying anxiety. They perceive the desperate plea for approval behind your explanations, which opens the door for manipulation. If they know you can be swayed by disapproval, they will use it, chipping away at your boundaries, testing your resolve, undermining your respect. A high-value man understands his decisions carry their own weight. He operates from self-validation and unwavering emotional control. He doesn't explain his existence or choices. His actions are his explanation. He states his position clearly, concisely, and moves on. No room for doubt, no opportunity for an interrogator. This is a fundamental masculine strategy. Justifying concedes ground, surrendering control over your actions, perception, inviting others into your mental game. Machiavelli would warn against such self-defeating displays. To maintain power, project certainty, not defensiveness. Your words should be a declaration, not a debate. The man constantly justifying himself apologizes for his very presence. Number 1. Respects a man who apologizes for existing. This isn't arrogance, it's owning your space, your decisions, yourself. When you feel the urge to explain actions, stop. Ask yourself why. Is it to inform or to seek approval? The difference is crucial. True power comes not from explaining but from standing firm on your own ground, allowing actions to speak for themselves. This isn't easy. It requires immense self-belief and mastery of internal anxieties. But what happens when your actions, firm and unexplained, are met with outright defiance or emotional provocation? This is where true emotional control is tested. The impulse for many is to deflect, to appease, to soften the blow. Often that impulse manifests as a nervous chuckle, an overly broad smile, or the very submissive laughter we are addressing. This isn't genuine amusement. It's a social tic, a defense mechanism designed to disarm, to show you're harmless. But a harmless man commands no respect. He becomes entertainment, a jester in a court where others rule. This is a fatal flaw in your masculine strategy. When you laugh to appease, you signal a profound lack of internal fortitude. You allow others to dictate your emotional state, to define your worth. The high-value man knows his emotional landscape is sovereign territory. He doesn't offer it up for public consumption or manipulation. The moment you resort to submissive laughter, you open the door to exploitation. They see the weak spot, the chink in your armor. They perceive it as an invitation to push further, to diminish you, to use you as a punchline. Machiavelli would recognize this instantly, a display of weakness that invites aggression. It's an unconscious surrender in the mental game. Those who entertain rarely govern. The man who habitually uses laughter as a shield, who allows himself to be defined by his jovial, accommodating demeanor, cedes his authority. He might be liked, but he will not be respected. True power is quiet, firm, and self-assured. It doesn't need to entertain to gain acceptance. This isn't just about social grace, it's psychological warfare. Your laughter, when deployed out of fear or a need to please, is a white flag. It tells your adversary, or even just your casual observer, that you lack the conviction to stand on your own 2 feet without external validation. It invites them to walk all over you, to take liberties. So, what happens when they do try to walk all over you? How do you respond to that direct challenge without losing your composure or your edge? When faced with a direct challenge, the immediate, often unconscious impulse is to over-explain, to justify, to defend. This is precisely where most men commit a tactical error, one that undermines their entire masculine strategy. They open their mouths and, in a torrent of unnecessary words, spill their weaknesses, their insecurities, their entire hand in the mental game. This isn't emotional chess. It's a desperate scramble to regain footing, and it broadcasts a profound lack of emotional control. Every superfluous word is a potential weapon handed to your adversary, ammunition for their manipulation. A high-value man understands that true power resides in the economy of speech. He cultivates a deliberate silence, a quiet strength that doesn't need to fill every void with anxious chatter or defensive monologues. Machiavelli knew this intimately. The less you reveal, the less vulnerable you are. The more you talk, especially under pressure, the more you expose your intentions, your fears, your internal landscape. This is an invitation to be dissected, to be undermined, to be disrespected. When you speak excessively, you betray a lack of inner conviction. You project insecurity, a desperate need for external validation. You cease to be perceived as a man of substance and become, instead, a source of information to be exploited. People do not respect a man who constantly seeks to prove himself through a barrage of words. Your words should be like precision strikes, not a scattergun of nervous energy. The ability to remain silent, to absorb pressure without erupting into a defensive explanation, is a formidable masculine strategy. It signals an impenetrable fortress of self-possession, a display of unshakable power that cannot be easily swayed or manipulated. This isn't about being uncommunicative. It's about being strategically opaque. It's about denying your opponent the very ammunition they crave to win the mental game. Silence amplifies the weight of the few words you do choose to utter, creating an aura of mystery and depth. It compels others to lean in, to speculate, to interpret, rather than simply consuming the full story you anxiously provide. When you respond to a direct challenge by talking too much, you're not just losing composure, you're surrendering valuable ground, giving away leverage. But if verbal restraint is paramount, what happens when your very demeanor, your physical presence, broadcasts the wrong message, even without uttering a single word? When your very demeanor, your physical presence, broadcasts the wrong message, even without uttering a single word, you're exposing a far more insidious vulnerability. It's the silent confession of need, the subtle hint of an internal void. This isn't about being stoic to the point of unfeeling, but about the critical importance of emotional control in how you present yourself to the world. A man who carries an aura of desperation, who subtly seeks validation through his body language, or whose eyes betray annoying insecurity, is laying out a feast for the opportunists. You inadvertently signal that you are incomplete, that you have gaps easily exploited. This is a profound breach of masculine strategy. The world, my friend, is not a therapist's couch. It's a battleground, and openly displaying your psychological wounds is akin to walking into combat with exposed vital organs. Predators, masters of manipulation, have an uncanny ability to sniff out weakness. They don't just hear your words, they feel your underlying anxieties, your unfulfilled desires. They see the lack of power in your stance, the absence of an iron will in your gaze. They perceive you as a canvas upon which they can paint their influence, a puppet whose strings are already half visible. This is where the principles understood by thinkers like Machiavelli become critically relevant. He understood that perception is reality, and projecting an image of unassailable strength, even when facing internal turmoil, is paramount for a leader, for a high-value man. To confess your struggles openly, to wear your heart on your sleeve in the public arena, instantly diminishes your perceived competence and, more importantly, your respect. It transforms you from a formidable player in the mental game into a potential pawn. Imagine an alpha wolf limping into the pack, whining about its hunger or its solitude. It immediately loses its standing. Similarly, in the human ecosystem, exhibiting your fundamental needs or emotional dependencies in a raw, unmanaged way invites pity at best and exploitation at worst. It marks you as someone who can be helped right into a position of subservience. They won't fill your void with genuine connection or support. They'll fill it with carefully parceled crumbs designed to keep you dependent, to keep you weak, to keep you within their sphere of influence. Understanding this psychological warfare is crucial. Never let your weaknesses be the bait for another man's hook. The man who truly commands respect is not one who is devoid of struggle, but one who possesses the discipline to manage his internal landscape without broadcasting its every tremor. He understands that strength is often cultivated in silence and presented with unwavering resolve. This disciplined self-containment becomes an intimidating form of power, a silent declaration that you are not easily broken, not easily swayed. It forces others to respect your boundaries, to treat you as an equal, or better yet, as a superior force. But what happens when you start seeking external validation not through vulnerability, but through a constant need for praise and applause? This is a more insidious form of self-sabotage, often disguised as ambition or a desire for recognition. It's a tell, a neon sign flashing approval needed, and it's an open invitation for manipulation. Those with predatory instincts, the modern-day Machiavellian strategists, see this hunger as a weakness to exploit. They will feed you carefully measured doses of affirmation, not to elevate you, but to ensnare you. Each compliment becomes a subtle chain binding you tighter to their agenda, making you dependent on their gaze, their applause, their manufactured admiration. You become a puppet, dancing for their approval, your actions dictated not by your own inner compass, but by the desire for another fix of external validation. A truly high-value man understands that genuine respect is not something you beg for or buy with performances designed to impress. It is something you command through an inherent self-sufficiency, a quiet confidence that doesn't need external mirrors to confirm its existence. He has mastered the art of emotional control, understanding that his worth is self-defined, not externally conferred. This inner citadel of self-worth makes him impervious to the cheap tricks of sycophants and the strategic praise of those seeking to exploit. His power radiates not from a desperate need for recognition, but from a profound indifference to it. He doesn't play the mental game to win applause. He plays it to win, period. His masculine strategy isn't about being liked, but about being effective, formidable, and undeniably real. When your drive comes from an internal wellspring, when your focus is on self-mastery rather than external applause, you inherently become a force others must reckon with. They cannot bribe you with praise, nor diminish you with scorn. Your value is non-negotiable, non-dependent. This detachment from external opinion isn't arrogance. It's a fundamental pillar of unwavering strength. It positions you not just as a player, but as the one who dictates the terms of engagement. But what happens when this internal resolve faces the ultimate test, the subtle art of social influence itself, often mistakenly perceived as a mere exchange of pleasantries? The truth is, even a high-value man can fall prey to subtle manipulation. If he lacks a granular understanding of human nature, much like Machiavelli himself championed, it's not about being liked. It's about understanding the mental game and maintaining absolute emotional control to command genuine respect and power. So, tell me, have you ever been truly manipulated, perhaps without even realizing it until it was too late? Share your experiences and insights below. Only by subscribing and activating the bell will you continue to learn these profound masculine strategy secrets that most men will never discover. For your next step, click here to watch suggested video, title, thumbnail, and sharpen your edge. Stay formidable.